Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Power Pages 30 Days Learning Challenge. Those who are new to this video series, this is the new initiative I took this new year, where my main agenda is to cover all the topics related to the Power Pages. So today we're going to discuss about the forms in the Power Pages. So this is the agenda that I'm going to cover in the 30 days. So introduction of the Power Pages, understanding about the Power Pages components, some basic concepts about the licensing, the pricing of the Power Pages, and uh, in the last session we actually set up a trial and we discussed about the Power Pages Designer Studio. Okay, so if you are not if you haven't watched this video yet, so I'm gonna provide the links of all these videos in the description box and the playlist link as well, so that you can just bookmark that so you can get all the videos at the one place. All right. So if I talk about the today's agenda, today we're going to discuss about the forms in the Power Pages. So form is basically the core components or one of the key components of the Power Pages. So in most of the projects, when you see the Power Pages or the website which is being used, we use the forms mostly, right? And there are different types of forms based on your business requirements. So yeah, so today the agenda is to set up a forms and we have some real-time examples as well. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into the session. And before getting into the session, a quick introduction about me. My name is Arpish Srivastav. I'm a Microsoft MVP. I'm Microsoft certified trainer and currently working as a Power Platform architect in Capgemini, Sweden. If you just wanted to follow my all the interesting stuff that I'm sharing on my YouTube channel, on my website, on my LinkedIn, you can find me by Arpit Power Guide. All right. Okay, so we're gonna create a form in the Power Pages site, and let's get started. All right. So this is the Power Apps Maker portal. So the installation and all the designer studio related stuff I already discussed. So I'm not gonna discuss the same stuff today. So if you just wanted to check out my last video, I've already told you like how to create a trial instance and how the this each and individual apps looks like and what is the significance of it. So basically when you install a portal in your Power Platform environment, you get to see two apps. One is portal app and the second is model driven app, and both the app is basically used to design the portal. Okay, so one is basically provide you the low code no code website experience. So and and the portal management is basically for the advanced features. Okay, so all the features right now is not there. It is not there in the Power Pages Designer Studio. So Microsoft is still adding those features in the upcoming releases. So until then, you can use the portal management for some advanced features as well. So we're gonna have a look like what are the capabilities we have in the Power Pages Designer Studio and what are the capabilities we do not have in the Power Pages Designer Studio. So we have to go to the portal management app. Okay, but the agenda, or sorry, the objective of both the app is basically to design the portal. Okay. All right. So today what we're going to do is we actually wanted to create a form. OK, so form, you already know it is one of the key component of the portal. So form is basically used to take the user input to view the data. Right. So it's not a new thing that that you are hearing. Right. Any of the website you are dealing with on the daily basis, any website in the world, we are dealing with the forms. Right. We have the registration forms. If you have to inquire something, then we have the inquiry forms. We have the feedback form if you have to escalate something or if you have to submit any complaints. We have the complaint forms. If you are on the event management portal, then you have to submit your event registrations, training registrations. So based on your website that you are creating and based on your business need, there could be multiple types of forms. And based on that forms, we have some different modes as well, that whether you want to showcase that form in the insert mode so that you can insert the data in your database, or whether you want to showcase that form in the read only mode so that you can just only view that information to the user, or you can showcase that form into the edit mode as well, because Sometimes you want that the information that the customer has submitted, they want to edit that information as well, right? So there are basically three modes of the form: edit, insert, and the read-only mode. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create all these three types of forms. So you will understand what is the significance of all these three types of forms. OK, so let's head over to the Power Page Training and edit that. So once I click on edit, it actually opens in the Power Pages Designer Studio. OK, so I'm trying my best to cover all the, all the features of the Power Pages Designer Studio. OK, but some of the capabilities, as I already told you, some of the capabilities are not still there in the Power Pages Designer Studio, some of the advanced features. So for that, we need to open the Portal Management Studio app as well. OK, so it's a model driven app. Okay, so the basic concept, the basic features of the Power Pages Studio I've already discussed. So this is the home page. Okay, and if you go to the home page, there are a couple of options are there. On the home page, first of all, you see the website that you have created or the portal that you've installed in your environment. So all the information related to the portals or your website, you can get it from here. The creator of the website, the domain of it, and the name of the website and everything. You can directly click on preview to see the output of your website on the browser. You can click on edit to start editing your websites. OK, in the left panel, you have the templates and you have the learning hub as well. So I'm not going diving deep into that because I've already covered that in my last session. OK, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to edit this website and I'm going to create a new page where I am going to display a form. OK. All right, so this is how if I click on edit, this is how your out of box website looks like. You have the header, OK, and you have the body, and then you have the footer. OK, so each page that you're going to create or then that you're going to use it on the portal will actually created of three sections. The first is the header. OK, so header is basically where you display the toolbar, menu options, and other stuff. Body is basically to display the information. OK, it's basically where you display the content, where you display the data, probably in the form of forms or in the form of list. But it could be your custom designs as well. And the last section is your footer. OK, so these are the basic three section of any pages where you customize the things, where you put the data to display to the customer. OK, so if you can check here, if you edit the website, there are a couple of options you can find it in the left panel. The first is pages. OK, so as I told you in my earlier session, anything you want to display on the portal, you need the pages. OK, because pages is kind of placeholder. It's a kind of container. So if you have to display anything, whether it's a data or a content or forms or the list, anything you want to display, you first need to have the page on the portal. OK, so the first main section is the page. OK, and you can see here there are two sections. There is a basically grouping of the pages. First is main navigation and second is the other pages. So main navigation is basically is a section. So if you create the page within the main navigation, it will display on the top in the header section. OK, so if I go and preview this website in the desktop mode, it actually displays some toolbars or some menu links like home, pages, contact us. So this is basically the main navigation of my portal. OK, so if I'm going to create any pages here and if I put it under the main navigation, then it will be displayed under this header under the main navigation. So you can see here I have three main navigation pages: home, pages, which has two sub pages, two child pages, and the contact us. OK, and the similar you can see here I have the home, pages, sub pages, and sub pages 2 are the two child pages and the contact us. OK, you sometimes you have to create some other pages as well, but you don't want to display it in the main navigation, right? So sometimes there are some of the pages that you conditionally show it to the customer. So for example, access denied. So access denied is not the page that you always show it to your customer unless if you want to throw the error when a particular user don't have any privilege to access that particular page, then only you display this access denied page, page not found page. So these are the conditional pages that you don't want to keep it in the main navigation, so you keep it as a other pages. Okay. Now, next section is the styling. So styling I'm not going to cover today, but you need to understand, like if you have to design your pages, you have a couple of themes available here. So you can directly click on a particular theme and it will automatically change your everything on the portal, your header color, your footer color, the buttons that you are using on the pages, the label color, the tooltip colors, the paragraph color. So all the things you can get that information here. So I'm going to cover that styling part in the styling session. So I'm not diving deep into that, but you can just understand this thing, that styling can also be done within the Power Pages Studio. The third part is the data. Okay, so obviously if you have to display anything on the portal, you need to have the data. You need to have the data model. You need to have the Dataverse. So as I told you earlier, that portal is connected with the Microsoft Dataverse. Okay, and Microsoft Dataverse is basically a kind of database which has a lot of tables, which has a lot of columns, attributes, relationships, and a lot of business logics are there. Okay. Now, in the earlier version of the portal, in the Power Apps portal, if I'm talking about, so if you have to create any tables or the columns or the relationship or the forms or the views, you have to go to the solutions, right? You have to go to the Power Apps Maker portals where you have to create the solution. Then you have to start creating your data models, right? But using this Power Pages Studio, you don't need to navigate away from this Designer Studio. You don't need to leave this Designer Studio. You can straight away start creating your tables, your columns, your relationship, or your form designing, your view designing, everything within this Designer Studio. Okay. So if you can see here, if I click on the data, I have the tables available here. So you can see here all the tables that I have in the Dataverse is already there. So it's up to me, like what tables I want to use it. I can just simply drag it to my Designer Studio and start creating it. Okay. Or if any of the if any of the out of box table is not fitting in my requirement, I can go straight away create a new table as well. OK, so I can create my custom table as well. Now, once I create a table or I'm using any existing table, I have a couple of things here. I can create a new column. OK, so I have the option to create the new column, same like the Dynamic 365. OK, I have the option to show the views. So views is basically used to show the list of the data. So list we're going to cover in the next session. But today we're going to discuss about the forms. OK, so we can create multiple forms as well as part of the Power Pages. So forms, as I told you, like you don't need to create any HTML controls or text boxes similar like the .NET, right? You have the ASPX pages where you use a lot of HTML controls to design the forms. So you don't need to do that. Whatever forms you are using in the CRM, okay, you can simply reuse them on the portal. So I've already created a couple of forms here just to save the time. So you can just imagine, like simply you can create the forms directly from here. You can create the views directly from here. You can create the table, you can create the column, and you can create the relationship. All the stuff you can do it within the Designer Studio. So this is about the data part. And the last part is your setup. OK. So in the setup, there are a couple of sections like site details. Here you have the details about your sites, your application ID, because it always create a app in the it always creates an app when you register a portal or create a portal. So it's a web app ID. You can show it. You can just see it here. Whether your portal is eligible for the upgrade. So you can find that information, the language, the URL, all the stuff you can find it over here. Go live checklist, I discussed about that in my last session, so you can just check that out. So all the stuff related, all the prerequisites before you are going to the productions. So it contains all the checklist is there. Identity providers is basically what sort of authentication you're going to use on the portal. So there are lists of identity provider you got under the identity provider section. So you can enable local sign-in, Azure Active Directory. In the earlier version, you have to manage all this identity provider using site settings. OK, In the background also, it's actually using the site setting, but you don't need to go to the site setting to configure that. You can just simply click here and enable and disable the setting. So whatever login or authentication provider you want to use, you can simply click here and configure that, or you can simply enable or disable that. OK. Table permission, that is basically part of security. So soon we're going to discuss about that as well. So some of the table permission are already there. So I'm just deleting those just to let you know, or just to uh, teach you from the scratch. I'm just deleting all the out of box table permission. So table permission is basically just to provide the security on the table or the data that you want to expose on the portal. OK. Site visibility is basically tells you like who can access your website. So as long as the site is under development, the developer are doing configuration on your site or designing the site, you can keep the site in the private mode so that no one who has access, sorry, or who has the access to your portal URL can start using your website. OK. And one of the most important thing is that as long as your site is in the private mode, you don't need to pay the license for it as well. OK, because unless the site is in the private mode, it's considered that the developer is using that, the end user has not started using that. OK. So, so for example, if you have the license instance and you just want to start exploring the portal capabilities, you can start creating the 30 days portal trial. OK, and you can create your portal trial in the private mode and you can extend that as well. OK, so private mode is basically for the developers so that they can start doing all the developments. Once you want to create your website publicly available for everyone, then you can extend your portal to the public site. OK, some of the other features like grant site access. So this is very important settings. I'm going to discuss all these about in the administration part because we're going to have the separate session where I'm going to discuss about the administration, security, and the troubleshooting, monitoring, and all. But just to let you know, like this is basically, it is basically the permission that who you want to give the access to your access to the website within your organization. So this is not about outside the organization. Sometimes within our organization also you want to restrict your portal site. So this is basically about that, whether you want to give the access only to the system administrators, whether you want to give it to the global administrators, so something like that. Okay, the Power Platform administrators or the or environment specific access you want to give it. So for that purpose, you have this grant site access option. Progressive web application is basically to convert your portal website into the mobile application so that you can download it from the Android based version of your portal. So that also I'm going to discuss about that later. So this is all the things you can manage it within the Power Pages Designer Studio. But along with that, you have some other capabilities as well that is still not you can do it within the Power Pages Studio. So you have to take the help of portal management. OK, so we're going to discuss about that as well soon. All right, so our main agenda is today is to create a page and we want to display a form. So what I want to do is I just wanted to create a website. So I just wanted to give you a quick context that what I'm going to do it. What I'm going to do is I just wanted to create an event management portal or the training portal. And that portal basically consists of a lot of forms, a lot of lists and some customizations, obviously. And what I want to do is I want to publish some of the events, trainings, boot camps so that anyone can register for the events, participate the events. They can simply view all the events that is going to happen within 6 months or 1 year of down the line. So this kind of things we're gonna display on the portal. OK, so since today we're gonna discuss about the forms. So what I'm going to do is I want to create an event form and I want to publish an event. OK, so for example, I'm planning to start the 30 days Power Pages learning challenge. OK, so what I want to do is I will straight away go to my portal and publish a new event. OK, and in this event I will simply put all the information related to this Power Pages 30 days learning challenge, like what is the title of that event, what are the description of this event, when it's going to start and when it's going to end, and what is the location of it, what should be the event mode of it, it's a virtual event or it's in-person events or the classroom training. So all this information we want to do it. Okay, so let's create a page first for that. Okay, so what I want to do is just click on new, and I want to create a page first. So if I want to create a new page, I have a couple of layouts available, and it's up to you how you want to, you know, how you want to make your page visible on the website, whether it's a blank page or the landing page or the two section pages or one section and the sub pages. So it's up to you. So I just wanted to take a blank page right now. And what I want to do is I want to create a page called publish event. OK, and what I want to do is in this page, I want to display a form where I can simply publish my events. OK, now, when I create a page, I have the option whether I want to display that page under the main navigation or I want to turn that feature off so that it will automatically appear in the other pages. OK, but I want to display this page under the main navigation. So I keep the setting on and click on add. OK, so once I add that, you can see a new page got added under the main navigation. And I have a couple of options on this page, like what I want to display on this page. OK, so container has already been added. So page is like a placeholder. Now what I want to display on that. OK, whether I want to display some text, some buttons, images, videos, forms, multi-step forms, spatial, iframe, list, or Power BI reports. OK, so I have a couple of options are there, but I want to create a form here. So I will click on form, and I have two options, whether I have to choose from the existing form that I've already created earlier, or you want to create a new form here. OK, so I want to create a new form. Now, when I click on new form, I have to choose a table. OK, so the table I've already created an event, sorry, an entity called Power Guide Events. OK, so this is the table I've already created, and how I created that table, I'll show that in a while. And I want to show the form of that table. So I've just chosen information form. OK, so this is basically display all the list of all the forms that is available within this table. You can create the custom forms. You can use the out of box forms. It's up to you. OK, sometimes what happen is, in case of out of box tables like account, contact, lead, and opportunity, you get a lot of out of box controls and components that is irrelevant to be exposed to the customer, right? So it's always a good practice that you should not use the out of box forms, especially for the system related entities or the out of box tables like account, contacts, lead, and opportunities. So it's always a good idea to create a separate form so that it should not impact the CRM developer and the portal developer works. Because sometimes what happens is if you are using the same form for the CRM and for the portal both, then it might be possibility like for CRM developers are making changes in that form and it's unnecessary hampering your functionality on the portal as well. OK, so it's a good practice that keep the separate form for CRM and the portal. But sometimes it happens like some of the entities you created only required for the portals. Then in that case, it is not required to create the separate form. OK, so for example, like this publish event, I just created this form. I don't need to use it in the CRM, and no one in the CRM side is going to use that. So I'm just using the out of box information form of it. All right. So I've just chosen a form. Now name of the form that I want to give it. So I just want to keep that information as well. Couple of properties of the form is the data. Now what should be the mode of the form? OK, so how you want to display the data on the form? OK, so I have three options: create a new record, update an existing record, or is read only. OK, so I'm going to give the three example today, but since this is the form that I'm expecting to publish the event, right? That means I will put the information in the form and submit it in the database so that a new entry got created in the database for a new event, right? So obviously I need to create a new record in order to publish an event or in order to create a new event. So for this example, I'm going to create a new record because I'm going to create a new record using this form. And you can see here in the configuration section, if I create a new record, I don't need to configure the other details. But if I take this as a existing record, right? or if I take this as a read-only record, okay, there are a couple of settings I have to do it. There are a couple of configuration I have to do it, that which record I want to open in a read-only mode, or which record I want to update that, right? So I need to provide the GUID of that record or the unique identifier of that record. But in case of create a new record, it's a blank form. It's a new data you're going to create it. So you don't need to provide any additional configuration. OK. So create a new record, and on submit is basically an option that what action you want to perform once the form gets submitted. OK. So there are a couple of options whether you want to redirect to a particular URL. Sometimes what happens when you submit the form, you want to redirect user to some existing website page or the home page. So that you can do it using this option where you can simply provide the URL here, HTTPS, and then you can provide the URL. Display a message. This is simply once your form gets submitted, you want to display some success message like your form gets submitted successfully. So some default message is there. So probably I can provide like your event details got submitted, something like that to Dataverse. All right. OK, now another option we have is redirect to a page. OK, sometimes what happen is, once you submit the information, you want to redirect user to a particular portal page itself where you want to display some confirmation message, some unique identifier. So for example, as soon as I publish an event, I want to display a success message. Congratulations, a new event has been published. Click here, or this is the request ID of that particular event. You can track that event. So something like that. OK, so sometimes you want to create a separate page where you want to customize your success message and you want to display some sort of ID. Sometimes like a request form or something like that. If you have to display that information, then you can redirect user to a custom pages as well. OK. But I'll just keep it as a display a message. I'll show that as well, that how you can redirect to a different page as well. CAPTCHA is basically, whether you want to, protect your portal site from the bot attacks. So you have the option whether you want to enable for anonymous or the authenticated user. So if you want to display that for both type of user, you can just check this option. Or if you don't want to enable that, you can just turn that off feature. So just to showcase that capability, I just want to turn this on feature. OK. Attachment. Sometimes while submitting the data, you want to attach some of the files, image or documents, then you can enable this setting. And you have a couple of options are there, whether you want to allow multiple files to be attached. OK, you want to keep it mandatory, or what should be the level of it, what should be the maximum size that you want to allow user to upload the file, and what types of files you want to allow. So sometimes you want to restrict user to attach the exe files or some other extension file, then you can simply just specify the specific file type so that user can upload only those type of attachments. OK. All right, so these are the information that you can provide it in the form. I don't want to, enable the attachment feature because I don't need to do that. CAPTCHA we enabled and all the information are there. Then click on OK. OK. As soon as I click on OK, I can see the form will be displayed over here. OK, in my page. But you can see there is a new capability that Microsoft has incorporated from the security point of view, that permission on this form so it can be seen and used by all your site visitor. So right now, if I try to access this page on the portal website, I cannot access that because I have not enabled the permission here. OK. But in the earlier version of the portal, the permission was not the mandatory thing. OK. So but now in the Power Pages Studio, you get the notification straight away while creating the form that you have to enable the permission. But if you want to see the output of this page, what you need to do is you just need to click on sync so that whatever configuration you have done in the Power Pages Studio or whatever data you have saved in your Dataverse, it gets synced to your portal UI. OK. So I've seen that change and click on preview in the desktop mode. So it takes me to that particular page. But as I told you, I have not enabled the permission here. So it will say you do not have the appropriate permission. OK. So what I have to do is I need to create the permission here. OK, so I straight away click on new permission. So I can go from here or I can click from here as well. So this is my form. I can edit the form directly from here. I can edit the fields also. So for example, if I have to remove any fields or add any new fields, I can click here in the edit field and it takes me to the edit form of the Power Apps. OK, so if I click on the edit fields, you can see here it takes me to the form editor. And this form editor is similar like the Microsoft Dataverse, where you can add, remove, or make the changes on the form, right? So everything is within the Designer Studio. You don't need to go away from this Designer Studio. In the earlier version, in order to create the forms, views, and everything, you have to go to the Dynamics 365 solution. Then you have to come back to the Portal Management tab to, sync the changes. So you can just straight away come to the forms and you can just simply add or update the form. Go back. So form you can edit from here. And if you want to enable the permission also, you have two options. Either you can click from here or you can click from here as well. OK, so I can click here permission. So what permission I need to enable here, since I am exposing the event page or the event table on the portal. So I need to have the event part. I need to have the permission on the event table. OK, so I will click on new permission and I want to give the name publish event permission. All right. Now here automatically the table got auto populated here. So so this is the advantage of creating the permission within the form, because in the earlier version you have to there was no linking actually between the table permission and the form. You have to leave the form, you have to go to the table permission to create the table permission, and then you have to come back to the form in order to enable that table permission. But here the table permission and the forms are linked with each other. So as soon as I click on the permission, the table name has got automatically auto populated. So you don't need to remember like what is the table name and what table I have to choose it for this particular permission. OK. And access type, there are different types of access type, whether you want to give the full access on this table. So global access means you have the rights to perform the operation on all the records. OK. Contact is basically you can perform the operation on only your records. Account is basically you can perform the operation on all your company related records. OK. Self is basically only for your records you can do it. So self is basically for the contact. So what operation you can perform on your logged in contact record. This is basically about the self access. OK. But what we want to do is we want to create it, right? So if I want to create an event from the portal, I need the create permission and I have provided the global access. So as of now, I'm just providing the global access, but we don't need to provide the highest privilege to any of the table permission. OK, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to here and providing the contact access. So if I have to provide the contact access, I need to provide the relationship, with the contact so that it is associated with my contact record. So since there is no specific relation between my logged in contact with the event, I want to keep as a global access. OK, because I just want to publish the event. I don't want to associate with any specific contact record. If I have to associate with the contact record, if I have to make the relationship with the logged in user, then I have to give the contact access privilege. OK. So since this record is globally available and I don't want to link it with any contact, so I want to get the global access. And since I want to create the new event, so I want to give the create permission. Now role, what role I want to do it. OK, so there are basically three types of role: administrator, anonymous, and the authenticated user. So I want it's like only authenticated user can publish the events. OK, or if I want that only administrator can publish the event, so I can give the only administrative privilege only. OK, but I want like all the authenticated user can only publish this event. So I can simply save this record. That means I have enabled the table permission for publish event table and for the authenticated user. OK, now I'm closing this. And if I again sync this and try to preview it, let me check whether I can access with the authenticated user or not. So if I hit the preview and you can see it here. the notification that I was getting related to the permission also gone. So if I click on desktop, again, I can see the information. You do not have the appropriate permission. Why? Because I have created the permission, but I have associated only with the authenticated user. That means the anonymous user cannot access this particular page. So let me sign in here. Click on sign in. So I'm just using the Azure Active Directory as a default login provider. So now you can see here, as soon as I landed on the publish event page, I can view that form, okay, along with the captcha. So I can simply fill up all the information like event name, event descriptions, start date, end date, event mode, whether it's a in-person event or the virtual event, or the location of the event. So where it's going to happen, or I have the option to upload the event banner as well. OK, so this record has not been created yet. To enable image upload, create this record. So this event banner is basically you can upload the banners as well directly from the portal. So I'll discuss about that as well. OK, so let me create a new event, probably Power Pages. Yes. Challenge. So I'm just putting that in the description. Start date probably just keeping as 1st January, end date 31st of January. Event mode is virtual, event location. So there is no location because it's a virtual event. So it's online. Event banner, I don't want to upload it right now. You have the captcha and you can simply the captcha like this. Hopefully it's correct. Now submit that information. OK, so you can see here, since I have configured the success message like this, so I got the message your event details got submitted to Dataverse. OK, now there are two options here. I want to redirect user to a new page where I want to customize my the message. So what I can do is, OK, so what we want to do is we want to redirect user to a different page. We want to where we want to display some customized message to the user that your event got published successfully, something like that. So to do that, I'll just come to this particular form and click on edit form. So we have the option called on submit. So click on submit and instead of displaying a message, I want to choose an option called redirect to a page. OK, and what I want to do is I want to create a new page. OK, where I want to display a customized message. OK, so let me cancel here and create a new page called confirmation page. OK, and this page I don't want to show it in the main navigation because I only want to conditionally show that page when the users submit the event from the portal. OK, so I'll just keep this option off and click on start from blank because I want to create this page from the blank and click on add. OK, now what I want to do is I don't want to use any forms or multi-step forms or any sort of list here because I want to customize this page as per my business need. What I want to do is I want to simply show the confirmation message. So what I want to do is first I want to show the image. OK, and I've already downloaded the image checkbox images here just to show the success message. Or if you want to upload a new image, you can just click on the upload image and you can download it from the Google and you can upload it from your local machine as well. OK, so click on OK. Let me fix the size of this first. OK, like this, I can fix this size and I can adjust its setting to middle. So I just want to keep it in the center, or if I want to set the setting of it, probably I can keep 45 and 4%. Sure. Yeah, just want to keep it bit little 44. All right. So I just want to keep this image in the center. Now what I want to do is I want to show the message called success. and want to label it in the middle. Probably I can just hit enter. So just keep it over here and add a new message again. And got published successfully. All right, so I just want to show this message as well. And if I want to show one more message, then I can probably click enter, click here to view, edit the event details. All right, something like that. So it's up to your requirement. Sometimes your client asks like, can you simply show some user-friendly message to the user? Sometimes you submit any allow user to submit any request and you want to display some request ID so that they can capture it for the future reference or they can track it. Especially in the case of retail portal, when the customer is placing the order, you want to display them the order ID so that they can simply track it in the future. So these kind of requirement, you can create a separate page as well. Okay, so like this, I want to, probably heading 3 to make it bit large, heading 2 more probably. All right, and just want to keep it in the center. Okay, and what I want to do is I just want to keep this here as a hyperlink. So I just keep it underlined. And this option, you cannot directly do it from here. So what you can do is, first of all, you have the option to edit code directly in the VS Code as well. So, you can directly edit, your code because whatever code which is being written in the background is the HTML. So you have the capability to add the component as a low code, no code website. So you have added the images and the controls over here, but in the background it's HTML code. OK, so all the capabilities, as I told you, it's not there. So if you want to simply provide the anchor tag or you want to redirect to a specific page when they click on the click here, so you can just click on edit code and it takes you directly to your VS Code. OK, so it's a great advantage that if you're using the Power Pages Designer Studio, it directly takes you to the VS Code. And now you can see here is fetching your file, and you can see the HTML code that is written behind this particular, the controls are automatically open in your VS Code. OK, now here what you can do is, if you can just go here, you can just find the option where I have provided the here option, where it is. Here we go. So we have the here option here. So what I want to do is I want to keep this as an anchor tag. So I kick anchor tag like this, and the intelligence is also there. So I can make this here as anchor tag, and the href, I just add this new tag, and the href tag, I want to redirect user to this publish event page. OK, so let me copy the partial URL, go back to my page here, paste it like this. All right. And if I have to sync this change to my Power Pages Studio, I come back here, click on the sync, and you can see here the changes that I have made in the VS Code got directly synced back to the Power Pages Studio. OK, so here I'll just come and keep it in the center. And if I want to change the color of it, just click here, go to the styling, and the styling you got to go a lot of options over here. You can choose the colors from here. If you are not if you want to add some additional color, you can just click here and add some additional colors as well. OK, so in my Power Pages Studio, the green color was not there. So whatever branding I was using, so in that branding, the green color was not there. So I manually added that. So what I want to do is I want to keep this here in this particular color. OK, and want to keep as bold as well. So click on the pages and keep it bold as well. All right. So you can change the color and everything from here. And let me sync back the changes now. And let's see how this page looks like now on the portal. I haven't linked this particular page to the original published website now, so that I have to still do it. But let me preview this page first. How does it look like? Perfect. So it looks like this. Success, congratulations, you even got published successfully. If you want to add the details, they can click here and they can simply navigate back to this particular page. All right. Now going back to my Power Pages, now link this success page to the publish event page. So if I click on the publish event page, okay, and here is my form. Click on edit form, go to on submit, and instead of display message, I want to redirect user to a particular page. Select the confirmation page and click OK. All right, sync back my changes. Review it. All right, so now if I want to publish a new event, Power Pages 30 days. Instead of that, let me take Power Apps. Keeping the same description, start date probably first week, 1st of February, end date is 31 February. Event mode is virtual, event location online. Put the capture and submit these details. All right, so once I submit the details, it takes me to the success page. So this is the advantage of creating, you can create a custom page and you can add your own HTML, CSS and all. So it's not always required that you have to use the, the out-of-box controls of it. You can simply create your own HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, anything, and you can design your own page as well. Okay. Okay, so this is the example of the insert form. Now let's take the example of edit form and the read-only form. Now, what is the real-time example of the read-only form? First, we discuss about that. So let's say my customer wants to, view the account details. So let's say I am Arpit and I belongs to or I working in the Capgemini. Okay, so what I want to do is that I want to view the company details, like how many employees working in the organization, what is the website URL of it, and what is the turnover of it. So all the basic details about my company. But I want like that the customer who is viewing the information about their account or the company, they should not be able to change that information, right? So obviously, if an employee is logging onto the portal, they should not be able to change the company information unless they have the specific privilege to do that. OK. So what I want to do is I want to create a separate page, obviously, because if I have to display another form to display the account details, I have to create a new page. So I'm creating a new page now. And let's keep the name of this page as my company. OK. And I want to keep it as a start from blank and add page to the main navigation. I can keep it now here. OK. And now again, I'm going to create a new form. OK. Now again, I want to create a form and I want to choose the account here because I want to display the company details associated to my logged in contact and select a form. I've already created a custom form here just to save the time called account portal. So as I told you, like account is the the out of box entity. So you should always, prefer to create a custom table so that you can just simply remove all the irrelevant things that you don't require to be exposed to the customer. OK, so that's why I have not picked the out of box forms like account and the information. I just created a account portal and on the data, I want to, keep this form as a read-only form. OK, because I don't want user to, update the form details. But here the glitch is that not I would say it's a wrong word, not a glitch. The thing is that you cannot directly update that information from the designer studio. you have to go to the portal management app here, right? If you can see here, they have given the message called advanced configuration are available in the portal management app. So obviously, if you have to display the form in the read only mode or you have to update the information, you have to provide the unique identifier of that record as well. OK. So what I'm going to do is on submit, I don't want to display any other thing because I'm not going to submit the details here. CAPTCHA is remain common attachment. We will not going to use that. So click on the data and I'm going to on the portal management app now. OK, so click on the Power Pay apps, go to the portal management here. But for that, I know I need to first click on OK. So first of all, I need to create the form, then only I can configure that from the portal management. OK, so I created that form. Here you can see the account information is there. I want to turn off this CAPTCHA details. So edit form, go to the CAPTCHA. I want to turn off this feature. But now again, I'm going to the data. I need to open the portal management app. OK, now it opens the model driven app and it opens the same form that I was editing from the Designer Studio. But here you have some additional capabilities are there. So for example, if you want to keep the mode of the form as a read only, you have couple of options, whether you want to provide the unique identifier in the form of query string, or whether that particular record is the portal logged in user, or whether you want to display any record that is associated with the portal contact user, right? So here query string is not required because I'm not going to pass any sort of unique identifier in the query string. Here, the account that I'm going to display on the portal is associated with my logged in contact, right? Because if I am the employee of my organization, if I am logged into my portal, I am belong to the Capgemini. That's my it is associated with my company, right? The employee is associated with the company. So you have to choose the third option, that the record which is associated to your current portal user. So who is your current portal user? Your current portal user is Arpit, and the Capgemini is the company which is associated with the current portal user, right? So you don't need to provide the rest of the option. You have to choose this option, record associate to the current portal user. Now, as soon as you choose a record associated to the current portal user, you need to tell the portal that this is the field that is basically linking my logged in contact with the account, right? So if you go to the relationship name, the account primary contact is not the, the field that is basically mapping the account and contact. This is the field that is basically mapping contacts, customer accounts. OK. So I'm going to choose this relationship name because if you don't choose the relationship name, then the portal will not knowing, right, that which particular field is basically associating or creating the relationship between the account and contact. OK, so I save this record and just to, for the showcase purpose, I will go to the contact record. And this is my logged in contact, Arpit Srivastava. And here you can see the account name. So this is the field that is basically making the relationship between the company and the contact. OK, so that's why I have just taken the name of this column in the basic form setting. OK, so this is the name of that contact relationship. All right, so this is the only setting I have to do it from the portal management tab, and we'll simply save this record. Going back to my Designer Studio, click on OK and click on sync. And then click on preview. So as soon as I do the preview, it takes me to the My Company page, and here I can OK, I got the information like you don't have the appropriate permission. So it is right. I have done all the things, but I haven't not enabled the permission here, right? So it's a good thing that if you accidentally forgot to, enable the permission, Microsoft reminds you, portal reminds you, that's go and enable the permission. Then only you can view that information, no matter whether you are the administrator, whether you are the authenticated user. If you are enabling the permission, then only you have the rights to view that data, right? So go to the Design Studio again, and this was my form, and click here on the permission because earlier I have enabled the permission for publish event. But now since I'm exposing the account table data, so I need to have the permission on the account table, right? So click on permission. And here I have to click new permission, and here now I need the access on the account table. So I just keep the name account. Table has got auto populated. Access type I want to have. So now here I cannot give the global access, right? I need to provide the proper privileges here, proper permission here. OK, so I will provide the contact access here because this account that I'm going to view on the portal should be linked with my contact, right? So it is basically contact access. And here I have to provide the relationship that is basically linking with the contact. OK, so here I have to choose the customer account. Now you can see here, this is the relation that basically making the link between the account and the contact. So I need to provide the contact access here. I don't need to provide any elevated privilege. So you need to always keep in mind that whatever access or the privilege is necessary, you have to provide only those privilege. You don't need to provide every time the global access because it's a security breach as well. OK. Once it is done, and what I want to do is I want to only provide the read access permission. OK, because I don't want to update or delete anything on the account. I want to have the read permission, and add role. I want to give only access to the authenticated user. OK, and administrator will automatically have the access because they are also indirectly as the authenticated users. So I want to give only privilege to the authenticated user. Click on the save. OK, and close it. So the permission issue is gone. I again sync the changes. Click on preview. So now I should be able to view the account details. Perfect. All right. So now I have the access and I can see the associated account uh, uh, related to my contact record. OK, now you can see here there is no unique identifier in the query string as well, but still I can view that information. So basically, when you want to display the form in the edit mode or in the read only mode, you have three options. Whether you want to show that unique identifier in the query string, or whether you want to display the contact record, or whether you want to display the related contact data. OK, so this account is basically related to the contact. So I don't need to provide the query string parameter here. I can straight away see that account information. So sometimes your client asks like under this profile, you want to create a new option here, my account, so that under the my profile, you can see your own contact details that you can update that. But under the my contact, you can display the account details so that you can view that information. OK, so two example we have seen. The last example is we want to display the edit form. OK. Now to edit form, we want to display the contact form of the user. OK, so for example, like Arpit is logged in on the portal and I want to display the account. I want to display the contact details of the Arpit so that he can directly update that information. So similar like the profile form. So if you can click here, you already have the example available in your portal instance as well. So when you click on the profile, your contact details are available in the edit mode. So this is also the form, but this is the edit mode form, right? That provide you the access to update the information directly from here. OK, now sometimes what happen is your client wants that this out of box profile form is not that much customizable. I'm not happy with the layout of it or the content that is being displayed on the page. I want to create a custom, profile page, OK, where I want to display the logged in contact details. OK, so how we can do that? I will create a new page again, and let's keep that page name called my contact. And yeah, let's keep this as a main navigation. Add this. And since we have a lot of pages in the main navigation, what I want to do is I don't want to use the contact us as now. So I just click here and move it to the other pages. So I don't need to delete that. It automatically shift to the other pages. Same with the pages. I want to shift it to the other pages so that it should not be visible until we are using that. OK. All right. So in my contact, I again show the form, and this time I create a new form again, and I have to choose the contact table here. Okay. Now in the contact table, there are list of forms are already there. So I go and select the form that is already there. So let me choose the profile web form here. OK, so the profile web form is the same form that is being displayed here. So this is also the profile web form. OK, so I'm reusing the same form. In the data, I need to choose the update an existing record because I want that user can update their details. OK, and there should not be submit information captcha. I don't want to display. Attachment is not required. So let me save this record. So as soon as I save this, the contact details will be displayed here. But as I told you, like since this is the edit form, okay, then I need to enable some of the settings. And because I need to tell the portal that which record you want to display in the edit mode. OK, you need to tell the unique identifier. Otherwise, it will not be able to display that form on the page. So again, I will go to the portal management tab and it automatically opens the same form that I've created in the Designer Studio. OK, so I just love this part that you don't need to go to the basic forms as we used to do we used to do in the earlier version, and we have to open the individual form. It is connected with the Portal Studio, Power Pages Studio, and straight away open that particular forms in the Portal Management app as well. All right, so all the configurations are there, but here the mode is edit, and I don't want to give the unique identifier in the query string because I want to open the current portal user here. OK, so anytime when you have to create, you have to display the form of the logged in user because in the portal, the logged in user is the contact, right? So if you anytime you have to create any custom profile page or you have to display the logged in contact details, you don't need to create the edit form in the query string format. The current portal user is basically used to edit or to display the logged in contact form on the portal. OK, so the query string example I have not demonstrated in the today's session. So in the next session, just wait for the next session because in that session we're going to discuss about the list. And in that section we have to discuss about the query string. OK. OK, so we have just configured this setting and there is no relationship need to be defined because we just wanted to display the logged in contact details in the edit mode. Simply save this record. Go back to my design studio. OK, sync back the changes. Again, I have not enabled the permission. So just before going to the portal, let me enable the permission because I have enabled the permission for company account for the publish event entity, but there is no permission enabled for the account table yet, right? So let me go to the new permission here. Click contact. And here I don't need to provide the global access. I neither need to provide the contact access, account access. I can only provide the self access. So self is basically to access my contact record only, right? So if I'm providing the self access, that means I only have the access to my contact, my logged in contact, right? So since I want to access only my contact, I don't care about the other data or the other contact records. So I want to provide the read permission, add role, authenticated user, save this record, sync the changes, and then preview. All right. So now I got the error like the record you are looking for could not be found. Interesting. OK, so let me investigate that first. So go to the Power Pages again. OK, go to the form. I think it's good that we got the error so that, at least we can investigate as well. So click on the edit form, data, update an existing record, go back to the portal management app. OK, so I think it's not saved. So let me change it again to the current portal user, save and close. It was not saved properly. Again, go back here, sync the changes. Review it. Awesome. Okay. So now you can see here, my logged in contact details has been displayed in a separate page called My Contact. Now it's up to you that how you want to customize this page. You want to display your logged in user contact logo or your profile image, because nowadays the profile image can also be displayed. I'll discuss about that in the later session. But so it's up to you like how you want to customize your profile page here. OK, because sometimes you have some sort of restrictions that you cannot customize the out of box profile page much. You can still do that. I have also done that couple of times, but you have to do a lot of scripting or HTML stuff to do that. But sometimes you want like I don't want to display the the profile information, the two section, and I want to create a separate page for that. So in that case, you can choose this option in the edit form. OK. But now here, since I have provided the option to edit the information, but still the form is in the read only mode. OK. Why? Because in the table permission, if I go here, in the table permission, I have provided only the read access, right? So I need to provide the write access as well, so that the user who is viewing the record can update the information as well. So sync the changes. So you can now imagine how the table permission and the web roles are important as part of the portal security now, right? So if I have not enabled the edit permission, you cannot update that data as well. So now you can see here, even my own contact, I cannot update the details unless I have the the right access. OK, so now as soon as I provide the right access to my contact table, I can update the information now. OK, simply submit the details. OK, so that's it for today. This is all about the forms. You have the edit forms, read only forms, you have the insert forms. And in the next session, I'm going to discuss about the list, and that is also very important topic. OK, so list is basically used. So whatever data we are submitting it today, whether it's insert form or the edit form or the read only form. So whatever data which is submitted in the Dataverse, we want to display the list of the data. And there are some more capabilities are there in the list. You can download the data, you can search the data, you can enable the paginations. So a lot of interesting stuff are coming. So thank you so much for watching this video. In the next session, we're going to discuss about the list. So stay tuned, take care, and stay safe. Bye bye.